All right, man, peace. So, future NBA Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade was recently acquired by the Cleveland Cavaliers as a way to assuage the fears and the temperamental nature of NBA superstar LeBron James. But in the process of doing so, his acquisition has destabilized other portions of the team, namely J.R. Smith, who was no, who was going to be revealed as very uncomfortable with no longer starting for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then you also throw in the wild card of Isaiah Thomas, who is still dealing with the repercussions of being traded from the Boston Celtics. So let's see what they have to say. Of course, I'm going to chime in.
Dwayne Wade's reunion with LeBron is in full swing. Ty Lue announced yesterday that Wade will start at shooting guard and replace J.R. Smith in the lineup. Wade scored 20 points in the Cavs' preseason loss on Friday night. We're joined once again by Rob Parker, but first, Shannon, what does this tell you?
Well, it tells me that Dwayne Wade is more situated for being a starting player. J.R. Smith has spent the bulk of his career coming off the bench.
Absolutely. And just beside that, Dwayne Wade is a future Hall of Famer. Unless he absolutely cannot play, there's no way that they're going to start J.R. Smith over him. There's just no way. J.R. Smith's mentality and his game is more situated, and it's going to be easier for him to acclimate coming off the bench. He's not going to like it, but it will be easier for him because most bench players are expected to bring in instant offense. They're expected to bring in that three-point punch. And Dwayne Wade at the end of the day is like, what, a 10-time All-Star, a future Hall of Famer? You don't bring him in off the bench. I remember when Allen Iverson said, I don't know any MVPs that they brought in off the bench. I don't know too many 11-time All-Stars that they brought in off the bench.
2013, he was sixth man of the year. And there was stretch there, like for 6 years when he was with the Knicks and the Nuggets, that he only started 25 games over a 6-year period. J.R. Smith is accustomed to coming off the bench. And I think what has happened is that because the last 3 years, we've seen J.R. Smith for the Cavaliers in the starting lineup. That's a very unconventional role for him.
Absolutely, because he's not a very intelligent player or person. No disrespect to him at all, but I mean, the mistakes and the issues that he has off the court, they show on the court. He just does not make good decisions. And, they need to raise their basketball IQ if they're going to seriously consider themselves to be a threat to the Golden State Warriors or the San Antonio Spurs for that matter.
He was mainly a top reserve. Dwayne Wade has only come off the bench in his 14, 15-year career 9 times. So it tells me that J.R. Smith is accustomed to coming off the bench. He's more apt to be able to handle that type of a situation, and D. Wade is better being a starter. That's it. I mean, I'm not trying to read anymore, but when it's all said and done, J.R. Smith might play more minutes than D. Wade.
I agree with that, and that is how J.R. Smith has to look at it. Just because you're coming off the bench does not mean that you're not going to get the bulk of the minutes. Look at guys like Kevin McHale. Back in the 80s, he came in off the bench initially, and a lot of times he would get more minutes than Cornbread Maxwell, depending on who was flowing better. Even up to now, a guy like a Jamal Crawford, he may get more minutes than whoever the starting shooting guard was, a J.J. Redick or whoever, depending on who was hot down the stretch. So if J.R. plays well, then he'll get more minutes.
As a backup.
So it's just a symbolic. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah, we trying to win, and we trying to hold up. Tristan Thompson's going to the bench also because this is a total shakeup. Kevin Love's going to center. LeBron's going to play the small forward. Jay Crowder's going to play the power forward. D Wade the 2.
Tristan's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Is he good with that?
He got no choice. He's making $15 million.
Says Shannon.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Yeah. Better sit your ass down, Tristan Kardashian.
I was out on him anyway. He did something he wasn't supposed to do, Joy. You know what he wasn't supposed to do. He got tangled up and now he about to.
Yeah. About to have Rosemary's baby.
I'm happy that he happy. If he's happy, I'm happy he's about to be a dad.
Yeah, if his ass happy, I'm happy. We're gonna bring all that craziness into our world. Me and Bron trying to do something great, something magnificent. Trying to win a 4th championship. And this fool gonna run around and become part of a witch coven. The hell wrong with you?
Yeah. But that's bad.
Woo! You're giving us undercover reports.
But I don't really see a problem with it. At the end of the day, they're trying to find a lineup that when when they face the Golden State Warriors. Somehow, Kevin Love's going to have to give them more than what he's giving them.
Shannon, you don't even believe that shit. You don't even believe that. But you know what? I think that this lineup will be a little bit more effective against the Warriors because it'll be easier to have K-Love guarding Zaza or JaVale McGee. And now you have a little bit more diversity in your defensive schemes with a guy like a Jay Crowder, who can go out there and who can tangle with a Draymond or a Kevin Durant a little easier than it would have been if you had LeBron out there with Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson, you don't want him out there on the floor trying to guard guys.
Especially when he goes against Draymond Green.
You know what I get from this? LeBron James has officially jumped the shark. Do you remember the episode where Fonzie is on the jet skis and he jumped over a shark in a leather jacket?
Yes.
And then you realize that Happy Days was ridiculous and it was all over and the show didn't matter? That's where we are with LeBron James. I don't get it. This is the same guy LeBron couldn't wait to run out on in Miami because he couldn't play. Now you're going to tell me that he's good enough to be a starting player. A lot of guys go to the bench.
Yeah, but you have to understand something, Rob Parker. Whatever happened between LeBron and D Wade in regards to how they ended their relationship, their working relationship in Miami, it is what it is. I brought it up myself. But this is more about D Wade than it is LeBron. The Cleveland Cavaliers, that was an open spot for D Wade to go to. Chicago no longer wanted him. And he did not want to have to go back to Miami with his tail between his legs. So the most feasible place for him to go was Cleveland to, reconvene with his friend, quote unquote friend LeBron James, and also provide a lot of emotional and psychological support for LeBron because they were not going to have Kyrie there anymore to be the fourth quarter number one option down the stretch of games. Now they have a guy in D Wade who can share that load, who has experience in high pressurized positions and can just alleviate a lot of the pressure off of LeBron's shoulders. We all know that LeBron is not good with pressure.
Later on in their career, it's not a knock on you. He's had a long career. He's older. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is LeBron James basically putting together Gary Coleman and Emmanuel Lewis. When you talk about Derrick Rose together, this is the 2012 All-Star team. This is 2017, 2018. You're living in the past.
No.
This is LeBron James telling you he doesn't believe he can win.
He's going
It really doesn't matter. This is, the NBA and professional sports. It is a TV show. It's about entertainment. There is an element of we probably can't beat Golden State. So, let's bring in as many named guys as possible and try to make it entertaining. In LeBron's mind, in his conscious mind, he believes that he can win, but in his subconscious, he probably does not believe that he can win. But we'll see.
He doesn't believe he can win, and now he's just doing whatever.
So
none of this makes any sense. Derrick Rose doesn't make any sense, and neither does Dwayne Wade.
Well, Derrick Rose makes sense from the standpoint that they've been desperately looking for some athleticism at the backup point guard position for a very long time. All right, for a very long time, or even the starting position now that Kyrie is gone. So they needed somebody who could fill that role and who could, at least make a Steph Curry work. They lost Kyrie, so they had to replace him with somebody.
It doesn't.
They needed a backup point guard, and they can't.
He's not a backup point guard. He's starting.
Because Isaiah Thomas is hurt.
Well, I'm just saying, when you look at these two guys and look at where the team is going, I just think LeBron has lost all sense of reality as far as where he is with this team.
I don't think that LeBron ever really had a sense of reality. I don't think that competition is really based on a realistic approach. I think that all great winners start off as being delusional. That's how you accomplish great things in life. You have to have a little bit of delusion. It's what's called a vision and goals for yourself. And once you climb those mountains, then everybody else believes. That's what makes it reality.
I think people are going to, if it wasn't the East, he wouldn't be playing these games. And I just realized that LeBron thinks we can do whatever we want because there's no one to really challenge us. Maybe the Celtics aren't ready to challenge them yet. Maybe a year from now it'll be totally different, but not yet. Yeah. Other than that, it makes no sense. Yeah. Dwayne Wade should be coming off the bench, not as a starter.
Nah. Dwayne Wade is fine as a starter. Dwayne Wade's intellect and his mental acuity, his basketball IQ, more than make up for any athletic deficiencies that he may have. And I'm not sure that J.R. Smith is a better athlete than him right now. I think that it's very comparable. And then when you factor in the basketball IQ portion, it's really not even close.
I agree with my friend Rob Parker, but only to a point. I agree that once upon a time, before LeBron was coming home, that he left Dwayne Wade, and Joy was there at the time, he just left Dwayne high and dry in Miami. And I was stunned by it. And I figured that bridge would be burned, or at least on fire. And apparently not. Because I guess on Dwayne's part, this was true brotherly love.
Yeah, and you could tell that Dwayne Wade, he seems to be very loyal by nature. I mean, of course, I don't know him, but that energy does seem to exude from him.
Because it looked like LeBron basically told Dwayne, you just can't help me enough anymore. Your knees are shot.
I think that's exactly what happened. LeBron looked at D Wade and he said, "Look, I love you, bro, but you just can't help me anymore." Because people who remember during that time period, the latter part of the 2014 regular season, LeBron was complaining constantly about D Wade constantly being inactive, not even being able to help him during the regular season. So when the postseason came around, for those of you who remember, Dwayne Wade's face was bloated. He was out of shape. He had no muscle tone to his body. There clearly was something wrong with him health-wise. And I think that LeBron thought he was only going to get progressively worse. I think that he saw the writing on the wall. He read the tea leaves, per se, and he said, you know what? Let's kill about 3 birds with one stone. I can head back to Cleveland. I can, try to fill that breach that I made with Middle America and regain some of the image that I lost when I left. And also I could stick it to Pat Riley.
Your shot as a player, because remember, they're coming off getting blown off the floor by the Spurs in the finals by a record finals margin. And LeBron is saying, I need more help. And all of a sudden, they have reunited in Cleveland. And LeBron obviously runs the franchise and has decreed he will be in the starting lineup, whether it's ceremonial or whatever you want to call it.
Definitely. LeBron certainly has something to do with D Wade starting. LeBron looked at J.R. Smith and he said, look, man, I helped you get your money. Just fall back and be quiet because you're dumb as rocks and we all know it.
But he will. And this is where you and I part ways on this. I still have so much respect for Dwayne's intangibles, his character, his leadership. It's way beyond LeBron's as a leader.
Stop it.
Absolutely. Way beyond LeBron. And for Shannon to even cut in, the fact of the matter is that LeBron had to go down to Miami to learn at the feet of D Wade on how to lead. There's no doubt about that.
Stop it.
It is. It's way beyond.
That's not what Scout said. That's not what the general manager said.
Father time always wins, Skip.
I got you.
You're living in the past,
but
even
you know
on
what?
Dwayne Wade.
Right, but he's talking about intangibles, man. Listen.
Hey,
Dwayne he averaged 18 a game last year at Chicago. Not terrible. He shot a career low 43%.
Well, yeah. I mean, he averaged 18 a game on 43, 44%, but his job was to be a guide for Jimmy Butler and a help for Jimmy Butler. Now with LeBron, I expect him to get a lot better shots. I expect his shooting percentage to go up back to about 48%.
And shot the second most shots on the team, Jimmy Butler, but he scored 20 the other night in the preseason game. He's still good enough at, 35 now? Yeah, he's 35. So they're both in their 15th year, but LeBron is 3 years younger.
The NBA general managers, by a wide margin, said LeBron James is the best leader in the NBA.
Baloney.
Well, what else are they going to say? He's obviously the best player. So whenever they're going to grade who the best leader is, they're going to go by the crop of best players, Shannon. They're not going to give Dwayne Wade that award. They know that he no longer is in his prime as a leading player. The fact of the matter is that LeBron had to go down to Miami to get an understanding of what it means to lead a championship team from D Wade. Dwayne Wade, to his eternal credit, divested his authority over that team to LeBron, much like what Steph did for KD.
Skip, I'm just going by what they say.
Well,
There's a lot
I'm just going by what I know and what I've seen. Dwayne taught LeBron everything he knows about winning. He did. without Dwayne Wade.
He grew up with a single parent. He had to learn the hard way.
Please.
Stop it. That man.
What does that have to do with anything, Shannon? Give me a break.
That man's a natural born leader.
Natural
born.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not seen that because I hate to admit this, but I think Dwayne Wade will become the stabilizing force of what was a...
Absolutely. That's why they brought him in. Because LeBron is not a leader. What he is, he's a head cheerleader. He's not a head leader. What happens is everybody gets tired of his antics. LeBron's idea of leadership is, creating fake handshakes for everybody. He's like the leader of a Boy Scout crew. Nobody takes him seriously after a while.
A chaotic franchise last year in which the two stars on the team would not even speak to each other.
No.
One way or the other.
No, don't you dare with that shit. Don't bring him no old shit, because I got the inside scoop, okay? I lay down with that man every night. I know what really went on. He tell me. So don't get on TV talking that dumb shit. I promise you won't make it to the end of the show.
Hold on.
When it decided he wouldn't speak to the other.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
There's a difference. It was not two stars. There was a mega superstar and a star. And the star
was the closer, so he was...
Absolutely. The star was the guy who made the shot to win the series that LeBron won in 2016.
He was the more important player because all the big shots were taken by the star.
All I know is that people were calling, y'all trying to get rid of Bron? Y'all trying to get rid of Bron? No. They can't move Bron. They moved him. Moved it.
So will JR and Tristan remain happy all year long?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
They're going to be happy. JR happy.
But
Tristan going to be happy.
I agree. I mean, please. JR mad, all he going to do is go home and smoke a blunt and then he'll be good again.
To your point,
He gonna have
maybe
Kawhi by his
Dwayne
side,
starts
right.
and plays 5 minutes and then mid first quarter in come the two other guys.
That's what it's going to be. Dwayne's going to be a starter in ceremony only. Him and JR will share the minutes. Whoever's playing better, will get the bulk of the minutes, and they may even share time on the floor together.
Two other guys.
He played less than 30 when they were counting on him. Skip, look, if he can give them anything somewhere between 12 to 15 points and play somewhere between 25, 28 minutes, they gladly take that. But LeBron going to win the MVP, so LeBron's going to average 25, 10, and 7. So that's what we going to do for you.
That's what I wrote on the refrigerator for him. I said, baby, I want you to do, about 25, 26 points a game, 9, 10 assists, and about 7, 8 rebounds. That's what I want from you. Now I'm going to put this, I wrote this on a sticky. I'm going to put this on the refrigerator door, okay? When you get up in the morning, I left a little power drink in the refrigerator for you. Make sure you read that sticky and keep that on your mind.
I just harken back to the Miami days, and I just look at it, and it just looks to me like for Dwayne Wade, he had nowhere else to go, no other situation.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. You finally said something insightful. It clearly they helped him as much as he's helping them. So it's a mutual arrangement.
He had nowhere else to go. That's why.
Sure he did.
That's why he wound up in. He could have gone.
He's like Richard Gere in Officer and a Gentleman. I got nowhere else to go. I got nothing else.
Could have gone. He wouldn't go back to Miami because he wouldn't want to face Pat Riley.
Exactly. They know in hell he wanted to go back to Pat Riley. Pat Riley, he walk in and Pat Riley have a look on his face like the principal. Like, your ass walked all the way around the block just to come back home with your dumb ass.
Right? Who treated him a certain way and he wasn't happy with it. So he winds up going back, going with LeBron.
All these free agents that's supposed to be going down there, he wanted Dwayne Wade to take less money so he can get Kevin Durant. And he wanted to sign all these guys that's coming available. Why isn't anybody down there? It's amazing when you had D. Wade, how you can get people to come down there.
Well, but you know what? And I blame D. Wade for when he took less money and signed that deal. Shame on him.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who did that and put himself in that situation. And you know what? When guys do that, they usually get screwed in the end. And that's what
I agree with that for the most part. But D-Wade was doing what was best for the team. At the end of the day, you have to live with that. You have to live with the decisions that you make in life, especially when they're macrocosmic decisions. He can look back and say, I could have got 25 a year, but, you probably would have 1 or 2 less championships. So, it's up to D-Wade to figure out. Once he decided that he was going to open up his proverbial home, his team, to LeBron James and Chris Bosh, you have to go all the way with it. You can't be a giver and then be a taker mutually, then you're going to end up right where you started.
That's what
Not usually, always.
always right. So he did that.
Just for the record, the Spurs did want Dwayne Wade,
Yes.
but you know what would have happened? He would have played 15 minutes
off the bench.
He
Absolutely. You know
He was
what?
offered a bench role in Miami also.
He was.
So.
You know?
Well, because that's where he should be.
But what this
No.
really tells you,
No, there's no way in the world he was going to go back to Miami and come off the bench, Rob Parker. No. It was too late. He should have just stayed there. Once you leave, then you stay gone. Okay? That would have been like him going back to some chick that he was with 5 years ago who did him dirty. He would have looked really bad.
tells you is that LeBron never really left because he thought Wade was done for.
He didn't want to be
No, I
a
don't
rival.
know.
He
That's
left
the case.
because he wanted control over a franchise, which he
Yeah.
got.
That's part of it, but no, he also thought that D Wade was done. There's no doubt about that. D Wade's performance in the 2014 finals showed that to those who were paying attention, that unless he did something drastic in regards to preparing himself and his body better, that he was done.
Guy in Cleveland.
Yeah, but I'm not totally sure about that.
He's starting this year in Cleveland. He's
No, I know-
starting.
I
That's what
know.
the story is.
I know,
So he
but-
thought his knees were
Lab.
shot 3 years ago, but now
Lab.
they're
But
fine.
I think at this point he rescued his friend who was out there floundering, right?
Okay,
Who
but
didn't
you
want
have
to be
to-
in
you have to tell me
Chicago.
the starter.
And you know what? Hey, bro,
Hey, Skip.
help me out, Skip.
Hey, Skip.
Help me out. I'm
did.
floundering. I need help.
That's exactly what happened. They both are mutually helping each other. And plus, D Wade's role on this team is not going to be the same as it would have been on Miami. So, Joy's a little mistaken there. He doesn't have to be as explosive on this team as he was on the Miami team because the offense was really predicated mostly on LeBron and him. Now he's going to a team where, the responsibilities are going to be far more diversified and spread out.
Help.
I will
Help
say
me
that
out.
Derrick Rose and Dwayne Wade did excellent together last year in Chicago with that 31-win team. So
Good point.
Hey, Skip,
Well, Derrick Rose wasn't on Chicago last year, you dummy.
let me ask you a question. Would you like to
We
be
gotta go, Rob.
would you like to be
Thanks for
flying with
joining us.
13?
But anyway. All right, so now let's see what further developments are occurring now with the Cleveland Cavaliers regarding Dwayne Wade and the J.R. Smith situation, as well as Isaiah Thomas.
What am I
next
thinking?
up, Ty Lue said LeBron James is, quote, pretty pissed off after aggravating his ankle injury during Tuesday's preseason game. LeBron's status is in doubt for the Cavs opener next week against the Celtics. Lue added, I'm not sure if we should be concerned or not. In more bad Cavs news, J.R. Smith said he is absolutely frustrated that he will be on the bench. Dwayne Wade now taking his spot in the starting lineup.
Uh-huh.
And they have to be careful with that because J.R. Smith is the type of guy, he's got a very mercurial personality, chemically imbalanced upstairs. He could definitely be a guy who could implode, or I should say implode the locker room.
Uh-huh.
Shay, how concerned are you about the Cavs?
In the words of Florida Evans, damn, James. I knew it was going to happen.
That was good. You got that
I
right.
knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Dang it.
No more good times?
We got the
Cleveland?
No, we ain't moving on up. Oh, Skip. I thought I thought JR would be accepting of his role, but I understand why he isn't. Skip, he's been a very valuable contributor over the last 3 years.
Look, he's been a nice player, but he's not Dwayne Wade. He never has been, and he never will be. Now, but it's up to him. If he wants to be a part of a team that can potentially make some noise, then he'll deal with it. But it depends on the tone of how he stated that he's frustrated by losing his starting job.
Yeah.
I've helped get 2-3 finals. I've won. We won one, and I've been a very, very valuable contributor. I play defense. I can shoot the three. I'm gonna make clutch shots. And he's like, hold on. This guy comes in, and I know y'all good friends, LeBron. Y'all might be best friends, but this is not him from 5 years ago. I'm a better player right now than what Dwayne Wade is.
Absolutely not.
Tristan Thompson has reported that he's also frustrated and upset.
Mm-hmm.
We got enough problems, man. Money normally brings on problems. This ain't about money because they're going to make the same amount of money whether they're starting or coming off the bench.
Well, the issue with Tristan Thompson right now is that he's feeling himself a little too much. And that's part of the Kardashian factor. Because of the attention that he's getting in other venues, sometimes that starts to trickle over into the professional environment. But that just showed you how silly he is. He doesn't pay attention to what's happened to the other people who've dealt with anybody coming out of that clan.
Now we got to deal with Isaiah talking crazy.
We're going to talk about that in a couple of
We
minutes.
got LeBron. We got Tristan and Jr.
Yep.
upset about their role.
Chaos.
LeBron's ankle. I told you we may have lingering effects of that ankle injury.
Dissension.
Well, LeBron's getting older. The way he walked off that court, he walking like an old ass man. He's getting older. That age is gonna hit him one day. It's gonna hit him hard too, because that brother got a lot of mileage on them legs, man. He's a genetic freak, but when it happens, it happens. But we'll see. LeBron has a very high basketball IQ, and he's done a lot of things to diversify, his skill set. So we'll see.
Love it.
Why would you? Hold on. What is?
Smell it.
Why would you say that? Why do you want dissension?
Why do I want decision in the Cleveland Cavaliers locker room?
You.
It's great for my show. What do you mean? Why would you say, why would I love it? I love this. LeBron has to deal with this shit. I mean, these things. I love it. This guy's the so-called chosen one. Let him handle it.
You a Spurs fan. They're in the West.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you know what?
I like to see you squirm.
Is there any lengths that you won't go to see something bad happen to LeBron?
Well, how about you with the Cowboys?
All I just told you was they weren't making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ain't no choices. Skip. I hate to see you suffer.
I don't. You think I like see the man? The very reason I'm sitting here is because of this man. You think I would want anything bad to happen to him?
Yes.
At least not right now, until CNN hired me to talk about Black Lives Matter or all that other shit. LeBron trying to set me up with an interview right now. As soon as that interview go through, Skip, you can kiss both my ass cheeks. I promise you that. You can kiss my ass. I'm out of here.
I would.
Yes, you would. So, yesterday, you assured me, you virtually guaranteed me that J.R. Smith, who once won Sixth Man of the Year, will be completely content to come off the bench. Because last year, J.R. became a very close friend of LeBron's.
Yeah.
So he thought, because he ain't as close as Dwayne is to...
But I mean, come on. There's different types of friendships and relationships, right? JR is somebody who LeBron lets trot around with him, like a puppy or like a court jester. That's not somebody who he views as a peer. He views Dwayne as a peer, as a friend.
Is to LeBron, and so as soon as that deal went down, JR should have seen the writing on the locker room wall, because LeBron James is not going to force Dwayne Wade to come off the bench and play 15 minutes for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Absolutely not. They have too much history. I mean, there's things that Dwayne Wade has done for him as a friend and as a colleague, as a player, that LeBron can never pay back.
Clears doesn't work that way, and JR is probably having one of those welcome to the world moments where you're like, I thought LeBron loved me. I've had his back. I've defended him publicly so many times. No, he's not going to have your back.
No, he doesn't. He's not going to have your back because he doesn't need your. He doesn't need your support. In life, you figure out a lot of things about interpersonal relationships, and most interpersonal relationships are based on expedience, meaning how necessary are you? All right. How necessary are you? That's the difference between love and things that you think are love. Do people keep you around even when they don't need you, even when you're not necessary? Does the relationship last even though the person does not need you for things? That's love. When somebody just has you around because of what you can provide for them, that's not really love. That's you providing a service.
Your back. Not when it comes to Dwayne Wade. Nope. You, so to speak, got trumped by Dwayne Wade, right? And in the end...
Don't bring that man name up, Skip. Don't make me get mad. Let me take off this tie and go to town on you.
Tristan, I told you yesterday, he's got to be sitting there thinking, after all I've done for this team, wait, it sounds good, but I'm coming off the bench now? And wait, Kev is starting at the 5? Really?
Well, they have to give that starting lineup, some time together, because that's going to be the main lineup that they're going to be using against Golden State. So they have to acclimate themselves to playing together.
And I told you what's happening, that Tristan's better half now is whispering in his ear, honey, you don't come off the bench. Kardashians do not come off the bench. Am I right about that?
You never know. That's what I stated. You know, when you're used to those cameras in your face and you're used to being told that you're a celebrity, a lot of times if you're simple-minded, it can get to your head. This dude Tristan Thompson does not come off as a Mensa member. I'll leave it at that.
That's what they don't. They don't come off the bench. So it's trouble because this is so predictable and it's not going to sit well with either one of them going forward.
Yeah, and it most likely is not going to end well either, much less sit well.
The mere fact that we're talking about a pro sports team and chaos that might be brewing at that locker room, and somehow we bring reality TV talking about a Kardashian.
But it's reality. It is. It's happening right before your very eyes.
I'm about to be out on the Cavs.
Really?
I'm about to be out on
Wow.
the Cavs. Because I told you I was out last year. I told you if Tristan didn't break up with her, I was going to be out. And he didn't. And that's probably why we didn't win the finals.
Of course, because he's a simpleton. Look, man, there's all type of things that females will do to simple-minded men to keep them around. You know, both above and below the belt. So I have little doubt that they've done certain things to him in regards to, you know, who knows, putting stuff in his food, casting spells on him. People might snicker, they might laugh, but that's how it goes down. You know, there's all type of stories. Women putting menstrual blood in guys' food and, putting potions in their drinks and shit like that. You never know.
Because there were like 3 or 4 games, like 3 games.
That's why?
Yeah, it was why. Did you see the way he played in the finals? 0 points, 2 points, and then he had a monster game, and then he no-showed again.
That's the guy I'm worried about. That dude, Jeff Green, man. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be something that Golden State's going to have to deal with when they meet them in the finals. Jeff Green is going to be an issue. But, I'm going to continue this on part 2.